Hello, my name is Saturn. Welcome to The Sharpest Teeth. We are going to do a tarot reading with the Crow Tarot by MJ Cullinane. Cullinane. I want to know. I want to know. Don't you? Don't you want to know? I want to know, why? Don't you want to know why? I want to know, why those of us who have been feeling burnt out, etc. Those of us who are so tired. So tired. Can't seem to get their energy back. I don't know what the fuck is going on with that. What is going on with that? And is there anything we can do about it? Is there anything we can do about it? When will it end? I want to know all of this and more. I know there are some of us who are experiencing chronic illness, burnout, addiction patterns are coming up, and some of it is behavioral. Some of it has to do with our behaviors. Some of it has to do, oh, this one wanted to come out. Page of Cups with our emotions. Being burnt out. Are we sitting with our emotions? Are we listening to our intuition? Are we ignoring our intuition? Probably a little bit. We're gonna do an actual spread this time around, not just gonna be pulling out random cards like I usually do. So the Empress wanted to come out. She stated my hand here. Someone told me yesterday, a stranger told me yesterday that I am creating something huge. And that's why I'm so tired, essentially. And I'm getting that from the Page of Cups with the Empress crossing it as well. There's a lot of majors coming out here. We have Death. Looks more like a rebirth in this card for sure. Cycles. And we have Judgment in reverse as well. I think some of us are being a bit hard on ourselves. That's what it sounds like. When we're building something big, we are birthing new ideas. We are bringing them into existence. And when that is happening, Knight of Swords, when that is happening, we need to take care of ourselves. Not that the Knight of Swords indicates taking care of ourselves. That is actually in the action. No, the question. The question position where we need more information is the Knight of Swords. Okay, and the Moon is the action. Breaking free from those patterns, breaking free from those self-sabotaging behaviors. My baby, my baby. Okay. And should we do one more? I'll pull another one after I look at this full spread, because this is plenty of cards. This is 6 cards. That's a good number. That's a good number. Okay. So what is going on with the Page of Cups is we're learning something new here. There's a certain amount or certain level of like downloads coming in for us. Some of us are opening pathways of different methods of communication from our intuition, from our higher selves, from our spiritual helpers, as I like to call them, from our dreams, and from our emotions as well. And there is also a bit of resistance here. There is a little bit of ego and hubris getting in the way of some of these new methodologies coming in, because there's this sense of like, but I've already learned all of this. Why do I have to learn it again? And like the ways that were working before worked fine. Why do I have to switch it up and change it to something new when I already have a way that works for me, right? And that is because with the Empress crossing this energy, we are birthing something entirely new than what we are doing before. And if we're being honest, was it working? Was it fully working for us? Was it fully working for you? Were you able to go with the flow in the way that you were being asked, or are you pushing? Are you pushing through it? There's a lot of like birthing metaphors coming up for me right now, where it's like, are you letting go and letting it happen, or are you trying to force it into existence? There's also a wand in this imagery. There's this river. There are these what look like apples. And there's a wand. And the crow is flying over the landscape, has a pretty good view of things, right? So this Page of Cups, new way of learning, new intuition, new ways of getting downloads, is offering you a new perspective, which is important for growth. Things are always changing. We always need to be, we don't always need to be growing, right? But growth is a part of the circle of life. The change is inevitable, basically, right? And that's what's real about this situation. The Death card, this is in the position of what is real. And that is, it's not only are we going through birthing of our ideas, we're also going through a birthing of ourselves. We're essentially letting go of an old identity and old behaviors, which is why the addiction stuff that seems to come up in these readings quite a lot whenever I come back to them, is the addictive patterns, the things that we do to self-soothe that keep us safe for a certain amount of time until, it's self-sabotaging behaviors, right? And I'm seeing, phone scrolling, I'm seeing vaping, I'm seeing some of you are smoking weed, maybe a little bit more than you want to. I'm seeing some depression naps, isolation type stuff. And with that, I actually think that it is an important part of the process, because especially with the Judgment in reverse, it's like beating yourself up over these behaviors is not actually going to get you through it. It just reinforces the behavior. It just reinforces the pattern of self-sabotage and shame and feeling bad about yourself. And so like you feel bad about yourself and then you go back to your behavior to self-soothe, and then you are sabotaging yourself again, and it just is like this whole vicious cycle. And in order to break out of that cycle, we have the Knight of Swords here. This is the where we need more information card, right? And it's basically like, give yourself a fighting chance and change the way that you think about these things, right? If you need rest, rest. Trust it as part of the process. Yesterday, I'm in the middle of doing like a whole ritual to get my energy back because I have been exhausted, okay? I have been engaging in these cycles. Whenever I do a reading, it's like 90% of the time it matches up to what I'm going through as well, okay? So I was doing a ritual yesterday, and this is like a multiple day ritual. So yesterday was the third day I did it, and I was like calling my energy back, right? I took a 2-hour long nap. It was almost 3 hours long, and I was like, what the hell? Because I want energy, not to be sleeping more, okay? Not to be taking my 4th nap of the week. But this morning, I woke up with more energy than I have in a very long time. So sometimes the resting and letting go is a part of the process of getting to where you need to be. And sometimes we as humans who are stubborn and self-centered need to experience the contrast, right? So sometimes it is important to see, oh, I'm doing these things and I'm not a big fan of them. I'm not talking about the napping or whatever, you know, like maybe sometimes, but like staying in bed, scrolling on your phone, doing these things that you do have control over, right? Whereas maybe taking a nap, that's just your body saying like, hey, I'm freaking tired and I need to rest. The things that we do have control over, that we see are draining our energy, that we can tell the pattern is happening, right? Like, where are the stops that you can implement to add some friction between you and your coping mechanism that is holding you back, right? And that is a change in thought, and your change in thought will lead to a change in your behavior. If you are willing to take action around it, right? So for me, I realized today, I was like, oh, I need to keep my phone outside of my bedroom. And I've probably said that on this channel like several times because it is a lesson that I learn over and over again, right? It's not like, oh, I need to get my entire life together and change all of these behaviors overnight. It's, oh, I need to keep my phone outside of my bedroom and like plug it in to charge in the living room when I go to sleep at night. Because when I wake up, I go straight to my phone and I'm scrolling on my phone for an hour, and then I go back to sleep, and then I wake up and then I scroll on my phone for another hour before I actually get out of bed. So it's that self-knowledge with the Page of Cups, right? Like getting a perspective on where you're at and what you need in order to enhance your own connection to yourself, because you're doing a lot of things that are disconnecting you from yourself. And that's like the action card too, is the moon. It's like, look at this. There is a self-reflection in the moon here happening. There you go. There's a self-reflection in the moon. And I saw the fish, and I just heard like fish out of water as well. It's like, I'm not exactly sure. There's a crow in a bird cage here as well. And there's a fish out of water, where it's like, are you out of your element? Are you scared? Like, it's okay. It's okay to be scared. if you're changing your habits, if you're building something totally new that you adore, that's scary. If you're chasing your dreams, the moon, if you're chasing your dreams, that's scary, right? It's screaming shadow work, by the way, with the bird in the cage, and the bird outside of the cage, and the bird looking at the bird in the moon, and the fish out of the water. It's like this moon card is screaming, do some work, okay? And sometimes this shadow work is looking at what your thoughts are and what your behaviors are and writing it down, Knight of Swords, in your journal, okay? So, I think you're doing a good job. I'm going to pull another card for some, like, invigoration. What do we... Oh! We're good. Whoa! Okay. We have the world. We have the world. So the reinvigorating message is that we're almost complete with this cycle. This cycle it's over, okay? It's so over. We don't need to worry about it anymore. We can trust that this cycle has come to an end, that we are at the end of it, and all we really need to do is ride the wave forward and go with the flow and trust that it will happen, instead of like raging against doing the things that we want to do that are actually good for us. Does that make sense? It makes sense. It makes sense. Okay? That's it. That's your reading. Thank you for joining me. If you want a reading, you can email me at thesharpestteeth@gmail.com and we'll work something out. Okay? And I'll see you again soon. Bye.